Ramsay. I see him die in a cruel way, and that we will applaud. I see him like in a Deus Ex Machina moment, saving Sansa.
I think she will take over Winterfell this season. They will die heroically, and this will be like, wow, oh no, Moon is dead. Hi everybody, hi Tamar. So we're predicting Game of Thrones season 6, episode 10. The season finale is upon us.
Finally.
Finale.
This suffering will end. This endless suffering in Westeros. And the episode name is Winds of Winter. So in a sense, Winds of Winter is coming out next week.
Yes! So basically this episode we expect to tie up a lot of loose ends and set the stage for season 7, for the new story that begins next week on Sunday.
The War of the Two Queens.
No more War of the Five Kings, the War of the Two Queens.
Maybe,
I like it. No.
Or the Three Queens.
Sure. 3 queens? Yara?
Cersei? Still,
okay. Okay, so let's break down all the plot lines. Let's go one by one, because we think that every single plot line will be tied in a nice little bow. So let's start with Dorne. Let's go to the north. So basically what we see in the trailer, that Sansa is now trying to establish herself to the men around her. Jon, he wants her to trust him.
He was very offended because he's an emotional guy. He can't control his emotion. So was very offended that she didn't trust in him, and she didn't tell him the whole plot.
The whole plan?
The whole plan, you know. But when you think about it, why would she? He's her half-brother. Honor and family and stuff like that, you know, words are wind. You cannot go to the grocery shop with that. You can say that in
That's an Israeli thing.
But it works. And don't forget, he died. And how can you trust someone that died?
That's racist. And how did he die? Killed by the people who were supposed to follow him, by his friends. So that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence in his leadership skills. And we saw him in the battle. Like his honor was wounded, whatever, and he threw away the entire game plan.
Yes. Now, according to the last episode, she used him basically as a tool to take revenge at Ramsay and reclaim the North. And I don't know, she doesn't really owe him something, I don't know, except maybe, you know, family duty, honor.
I think that he doesn't yet trust her because he lacks judgment, as we've seen, and maybe he hasn't seen our Queen Sansa video. That could be another reason. Jon? Click, Jon.
Remember, the best lesson Littlefinger can give her, trust no one. And maybe in this episode we will discover he's not even her half-brother.
Right.
He's just a stranger that lived in her house for so long. What the fuck? What the fuck?
But wait with that. So Jon, we saw him in episode 9, he was still lost. And he doesn't know his role. He can't rule, obviously. He doesn't have what it takes.
He doesn't want to. Yeah.
Jon Snow's not a king. No, he's not.
You think that his true calling is at the wall?
Yeah. He's like a mythical figure, a hero from the age of heroes. There is a certain purpose of him being alive and not being killed.
And this is why he cannot die until he fulfills his purpose in the story.
And his whole
to fight the White Walkers, to do something with magic, with the dragons, Daenerys, something.
His whole storyline revolves around the wall. He's the winter, he's the ice. So he's not part of the Game of Thrones, as I see it.
Right.
He's part of the Song of Ice and Fire.
Right.
So he needs to live and go back to the wall.
And she's just a politician. No ice, no fire, no magic. She's just a politician.
Yeah.
Sansa also tries to establish herself in front of Littlefinger. We see them in the God's Wood, and she asks him, "What do you want?" And he says very creepily, "You know what I want." But she has a lot of traumas from men who see her as an object to be taken upon, to be used.
Yeah.
She won't accept his authority over her. I don't think so.
Obviously, she can't give him what he wants. Obviously.
And she will not.
He wants to marry her or be with her because of her name, and also because of, romantic feeling towards her mother.
Right. And she looks good.
Yeah, she's hot.
Now, in order for her to grow some more, he needs to go. I think she's gonna stab him right then and there in the Godswood.
I think it will happen next season.
During this scene, I think that Littlefinger will not realize that she has changed, that the dynamics between them have changed, that the balance of power between them has changed. And when he will become complacent, that's when he's going to lose because of his blind spot.
Yeah, his emotions will be the end of him.
Men and their emotions.
Yeah. We saw Davos in the last episode.
Right.
Previous episode. In the previous episode, finding this doll that he made for Shireen, God rest her soul.
In the plane crash, somehow I found that. It's like the passport in 9/11.
So finally, after 10 episodes, finally will confront Melisandre about her crime.
And she will tell him the truth. This is how it seems like.
Yeah, according to her, she's just a servant. She's a tool. She has no free will. She's just like this conduit, from the Lord's will to the, execution.
She was a religious zealot, and she had ego, and she said, I have all the answers, but now she's kind of stoic and aloof and humble. Now, this is the only God we have. What do you want me to do? It is not me, it is him. So Davos, at first we thought that he will want revenge for the burning of Shireen. That was an atrocious moment last season, season finale.
Yeah.
But now it seems that he just snitched on her, told on her to Jon, so he basically wants justice. So I think that she will somehow see in the flames that her role is to pay for Jon's life or for Shireen's life in some way, and she will go willingly to the pyre and be burned. And that's it with Melisandre.
Yeah, that's a nice good conclusion to the story.
To her story.
To her story, because the first episode was called The Red Woman, so maybe in the last episode she will die. And she will pay the price.
And the first time we saw her in season 2, episode 1, she was burning people.
Yeah.
And now she will be burned. And the other people didn't want to get burned. Maybe she will want to get burned.
Yeah, but who will burn her?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
And we also see Bran in the trailer. Probably is gonna reach the wall, and when we're gonna see some resolution to the Tower of Joy sequence where supposedly Jon was born to Rhaegar and Lyanna, so he's not a Stark bastard. That's like the most popular theory out there, that he's part Targaryen, part Stark, royal blood.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a twist for the TV watchers. That's,
Rhaegar, nobody knows the TV show about Rhaegar. In the books, he's kind of important. We're told a lot of things about him. He's an interesting guy.
Yeah. Maybe in the show, they will make it that Jon and Daenerys are twin brothers for the oh my god moment.
So the ice and the fire are twins. They were born together. Maybe they will have to die together.
Yeah.
Because Jon kind of wants to die. Maybe he needs to do what he needs to do eventually in season 8, and then he can finally die. And the final thing that we see in the trailer from the north is the White Raven coming over to Winterfell. And from the books, we know that White Ravens, they tell us basically that winter is here.
Yeah.
Not that it's coming, it's here.
Winter is confirmed.
Confirmed! So maybe we'll see this white dove / raven in every single location coming over to tell the people winter is here.
Yes.
Okay, Meereen. We see some interesting things in Meereen. After episode 9, that Daenerys was finally doing what we've been waiting for 6 seasons for her to do, being super awesome, incredibly awesome with the dragons, controlling them 100%, taking care of business.
Winning a battle with them. That's a first.
Right, by herself. Right. But now we see her talking to Tyrion. Maybe she's been having second thoughts. She's a little bit scared, and he tells her, you should be scared.
Yeah.
This is the big game now, the great game now.
That's the difference between a conqueror and a ruler.
Right.
And
so the big game is basically ruling, not conquering.
Maybe we'll tell her, be real. You will have to get married.
Right.
You will have to make deals and compromises with a lot of houses.
Right.
You will not be greeted as this savior, as
Liberator.
this misa, they will be he should tell her, they will be terrified.
They will fight you.
They will fight you.
So basically we see Tyrion establishing himself as the hand of the queen, the hand of the ruler, perfecting his ruling skills. He had some hiccups in Meereen, but now he seems on top of his game.
Tyrion gave Daenerys a very good advice of not granting independence to the Arya Island, because when you control an empire, and basically the Seven Kingdoms is like a multinational empire, you cannot grant independence to one of your provinces/states, because there will be a domino effect, and now everyone will want it.
Freedom. Then it's work all the time.
I want to be independent, I want to exit, I don't want to be part of your union, I'm so special.
So maybe he will tell Daenerys, listen, this Dario fellow, he looks good, but he's not marriage material. You can't bring him home to daddy.
He's not royalty also.
Not royalty. So maybe she will have to break up with him. The dragons are kind of symbolic of Daenerys, that she cannot chain them. She has to set them loose. Her sexual desires and sexual appetite with Dario, now she will have to set that aside and put a part of herself in a cage.
Yeah.
And that will not work.
No.
Okay, let's go to King's Landing. We see that Cersei is going to face trial. We see the High Sparrow, basically the de facto ruler of King's Landing. Yeah. And there's been too much foreshadowing this past season that King's Landing is going to burn.
Yeah.
And we think that Cersei is going to burn the city.
Yeah.
She's going to try to burn the Sept of Baelor, and then somehow will burn the entire city.
She will use wildfire, so it's not exactly burning. It's more like incinerating. And there is a connection between wildfire and magic.
Right.
It's more potent and have more longevity.
Since the dragons came back.
Since the dragons came back, so it's a very dangerous weapon.
So it's like the dragons and the White Walkers. It's kind of a magic that you can't control.
Exactly.
It's not you. So I initially thought that maybe after Tommen will die, that will make her say, that's it, let's burn everything. Or maybe when they'll try to take her to the trial, to her cell, then things will start to explode. Eventually she'll go to the Red Keep, hide there behind closed doors, sit on the throne while the city is burning.
Yeah. Maybe she'll be like Nero. Nero. The
Who is
emperor
Nero?
that rumor says that he was responsible of the burning of Rome in the first century AD.
Yeah.
He played the violin, he was crazy, he was very happy that the city is burning. Or if we stay with Rome, it can be very like this watershed moment of like the fall of the empire, like the sack of Rome.
The symbolic
fall of Rome. There is no one particular date for the fall of Rome. There is this arbitrarily chosen by historian. But the sack of Rome was like a very important moment. It really symbolized like an end of an era.
So King's Landing was built as the Targaryens first landed in Westeros.
With 3 dragons.
And now we think that King's Landing is going to burn, just as another Targaryen is coming in.
With 3 dragons.
And
a dwarf.
Okay, so maybe history does not repeat itself exactly.
You can't compare.
So in a way, she's going against the currents of history, against the course of history. She will come to King's Landing just as the symbolic capital of the Targaryen rule has been incinerated to the ground. So Aegon built something from the ground, and when she gets there, there's nothing. So there are a lot of characters there in King's Landing. Besides Cersei, there's the Mountain, and Pycelle, and Kevan, and Tommen, and Marjorie. So some of them will obviously die, some of them are already dead, they don't know it yet.
Yeah, Varys is on his way, so maybe he will kill some of them, maybe.
Speaking of Marjorie Tyrell, I think that in the next episode, I guess, maybe we'll see Euron. He built his fleet in like 2 episodes, and he will start to attack the Reach, and that way, not only the Lannisters are crashing down, the Tyrells as well will be under fire, just as Daenerys and Sansa, the 2 queens, are gathering powers. So, okay, what about the Riverlands? We see Jamie with the phrase, they're toasting, like the references and the regards.
Yeah. We still expect Jamie to cut the cord with Cersei, like it happened in the books.
Right.
I told you I'm not so sure about that anymore. Maybe I don't know. He will join her in her last hurrah.
No.
But it could be a great setup for him to find out this episode, maybe by the Frey himself, maybe
The Lord Frey?
Walder Frey himself.
Yeah, he has no inhibitions.
He has this, inferiority complex.
Right.
You think you're better than me, you with your golden hair.
Right.
Yeah, your sister fucked your
Right.
cousin. Yeah, bitch. What do you think about that? Yeah, motherfucker.
Maybe Arya will kill him. That's like a popular theory out there. And I think that once Jamie will cut the cord with Cersei, he will take his Lannister army and join Sansa in the north on her quest to take the Riverlands with the Tullys and everything. Boom. You don't agree. So it's not yet confirmed, but it's boom. Give me the boom. There's boom. Boom. Okay. Boom. Boom. Maniac.
Maybe Bran and the Hound will meet,
Bran met the Brotherhood with the banners in the books.
Yeah.
Didn't go over very smoothly. So maybe we'll see some kind of stuff of that sort, whatever. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe they will meet Arya. Maybe
Maybe they will go to Sansa. No, she's on her way to Sansa.
Yeah, and they will meet Arya on the way. So like all the
So
gang.
Arya is
together.
everywhere.
Yeah,
She's gonna be in King's Landing and in the Twins, whatever, and also in the
and
North.
remember in the previous episode, Sansa said, "No one can protect me." Arya is no one.
Ooh. So I think that we're gonna see another character this next episode that we haven't seen for a long time. We've seen only twice this season. Samuel Tarly. Samuel Tarly. He's got to get to Old Town already, to the Citadel, to the Maesters, right?
Yeah, I'm really expecting that to happen.
We expect whatever. I expect that he will appear also in the final scene of the season, because we know from the books that the Maesters basically tell him, some of the Maesters tell him, we are the ones who killed the dragons the first time around, the last time around. So, and they will be working in order to destroy magic, because magic doesn't suit the world that they want to live in.
Yeah, they're like the knowledge class, so the enemy of knowledge and empirical knowledge and science is mythology and magic, so it's uncontrollable magic threatens their role in the society. And for an entire season now, Sam and Jon, but Sam, they don't know nothing about the dragons.
Right.
The existence, the re-emergence of the dragons.
Right.
So maybe this will be also for the viewers, like this moment in which the Maesters tell Sam, you're talking about the White Walkers? There are dragons on their way here.
And so they will be afraid of the dragons.
Yeah, you think they are the enemy? You don't know what you're talking about.
So maybe that's like a switcheroo of the
Yeah.
POV, that we should be afraid of Daenerys and her dragons. So the way I see it, I'm going to call it now. The last part of the episode of the season, we're going to see the White Walkers going towards the wall, getting basically to the wall. Finally, they took it's like in the Exodus in the Bible, they took like a 40 years route, whatever. We see them getting there. Then we see Daenerys on top of her dragons and her fleet going over to Westeros to save the day. So after this huge nerdgasm, the White Walkers and the dragons fade to black. Let's go back to reality, how things really work. The Maesters with their potions, whatever, they're planning. Computers, they're planning on killing the dragons.
Calculators.
So that's kind of an anticlimax ending to the season. That's just me. If you have a different thought about how the season will end, be sure to mention in the comments and like our video if you liked it. I know you liked it. Not you, you didn't like it. That's right. And we want to thank our patrons, and if you would want to join our patrons, become a sponsor or maybe an executive producer, there's a link to our Patreon page in the description, or you can just go to patreon.com/GoT Academy and sponsor us and also get access to our Patreon-only videos. And if you want to know why we think that Daenerys is basically becoming the villain in the story, inspired by the historical real-life person of Genghis Khan, watch this video, or if you want to watch a video that we did about the White Walkers and their fate a year ago, here it is. And subscribe to get our episode 10 review next week, and a bunch of season reviews, and also content throughout the year until Winds of Winter, beyond, until the last season, until next season. So subscribe. Bye everybody, we'll see you next time.